DAB 9. And Bismillah, today we are going to be talking about our preparations for our cycle from Leicester to Amsterdam. Just to give you a quick insight into Waves of Positivity, if you're the first time speaking or listening to us, we are a community interest company based in Leicester, started in 2018. Three brothers, Suly, Soulymane and Aadil. And we're CIC looking to help the youngers between the ages of 17 to 30 through the 5 aspects of personal development: spiritual, emotional, physical, social, and physical. Sometimes I forget them. Bismillah. So today, of course, as mentioned, we're going to be talking about our cycle from Leicester to Amsterdam. Before I do get into that, I want to first introduce our host with the most, Soulymane.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, guys. Thank you for tuning in. This is our first show since Ramadan, our first radio show since Ramadan. So it's a bit, we're getting the rust back up on this kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm excited to share our journey so far, share our vision, and talk about the purpose and the reason of why we're doing what we're doing, inshallah.
100%. I'm Suly, part of Waves of Positivity as well, helping young adults to live positive lifestyle choices and stuff. Helping actually should be inspiring. But yeah, inshallah, we're going to talk to you guys about the upcoming cycling challenge that we've got from Leicester to Amsterdam, and inshallah you guys can see how we make waves in our local and wider communities.
Bismillah. So if you do want to know a bit more about Waves of Positivity, you can go check out our social media. So we've got Waves of Positivity Official on Instagram and TikTok. You can go WAP Official 1 on Twitter. On LinkedIn, Waves of Positivity, and YouTube and Spotify, it's also Waves of Positivity. We do podcasts, we do videos, we also do a lot of content through these different platforms where you can kind of keep up to date with our latest treks. Recently, we had one in a park, local park. We had it in Spin Hill Park. We had a little 5K walk. We also had our football tournament. And then last December, we had a brothers trek. So if you ever want to get involved in our activities, you can, of course, go check them out on there and then get involved with the ones we're going to be speaking about later on today.
Sure.
Bismillah. So, what is this cycle, Mr. Soulymane? Do you want to tell us what we're doing, what we're looking to achieve, what it's for? Let the guests know.
Actually, if you don't mind, before we talk about our cycling, I want to give a massive hats off to the Riders of Sham guys who set off on their cycling.
Mashallah.
Yeah, big mashallah to those guys. I think they've got 43 riders and a team of 7 support staff, or volunteers rather. They left Leicester yesterday morning and they're cycling from Amsterdam to Copenhagen. And I was just pushing their buttons yesterday in the morning when they were leaving. I was like, you guys are skipping the hard part. You're flying from UK to Amsterdam. We're cycling it. We're doing the hard part, you're doing the easy part. But you know, they're covering a massive distance, so mashallah. And they've helped us as well in progressing hours, planning hours, organizing hours. So massive hats up to them. They're kind of like pioneering the space of doing these national, international cycling rides. But essentially we... do you want me to say the full story or like the shorter version, or?
No, just very quickly.
Okay, very quickly.
I just want the kind of guests to know what we are looking to achieve from this cycle. Like at the end of the day, right? The cycle is kind of the easy part in my eyes. As much as it is a physical burden for us, kind of achieved, train up for, etc. It's the easy part. The hard part, really and truly, is generating the kind of funds, kind of helping the people. In my opinion, the reason why I say that is the cycle is kind of for us what we're having to endure, but what the people out there are kind of experiencing, the way they're being completely displaced. So this sort of fundraising is important.
So I agree with you that it's the easy part. It's the fun in the fundraising, right? Because our difficulty that we're going to endure, there's an end date to it.
Yeah,
we're cycling for 3 days and that's it. We're in a hotel. We're going to have some nice food. We're going to chill around, fly back,
have an experience.
Whereas the people that we're advocating for and fundraising for, they don't have a deadline. They're not like, okay, in a week, I'm going to have water, food, shelter kind of thing. It's like, we don't know and we need help from the Ummah. So every single year we kind of try and do something that's quite big, that pushes us individually to our limits, but also brings people into that circle and push them to their limits in order to create the biggest impact. And so this year we decided that we're going to do a cycling challenge from the UK to another country. We settled on Leicester to Amsterdam. So we're going to do it over 3 days, covering approximately 200 miles in those 3 days. And we've got 10 cyclists that have come together from around the UK. And our goal is to fundraise £24,000, which will facilitate building an apartment block in Syria for those that have lost their homes or have been affected by the earthquake. Now, we know that Syria is a country that's been having ongoing conflict for over 10 years. So these people who were affected by the earthquake had nothing and then lost everything, which makes no sense. We can't imagine it. Imagine having nothing and then losing everything again. How can you lose everything when you already have nothing? But that is the situation that these people are in. And these homes that we're going to be building, this apartment block is going to have 8 homes, and each home or each apartment will have a living room, a kitchen, 2 bedrooms, toilet, bathroom. The block itself will have connection to the utilities, electricity, gas, water, all that good stuff. And once the apartments, the homes are built and it's passed on to these families will own these apartments. It'll be theirs to do as they wish. And so currently we've raised just over £17,000. So we are £7,000 short, which inshallah we're looking to fundraise through various events and activities, which we'll talk about through the rest of this show. But that's essentially the idea. Cycling 200 miles to help give shelter, provide shelter for these people in Syria, our brothers and sisters, inshallah.
Inshallah. And then, so kind of what we've got coming up right now in terms of activities for people that can take part in.
What have we got coming up?
Yeah.
So the trek, obviously, we've got in a week's time, inshallah. I'm looking forward to that. Well, 2 weeks from now. No training required for that, really and truly, as opposed to the cycle that we're doing. And we got I'm sure we can mention the car wash now as well, can't we? Right. So we got the car wash end of this month. If you guys want to keep your cars dirty for a few more weeks, we got a nice car wash and barbecue collaborated day, inshallah, in Leicester. The poster will be going out hopefully tonight, I believe. And you guys make sure you save that day free, 25th of June. This month, inshallah. So make sure you guys are there.
Buckland Road, right?
Buckland Road, yes. Yeah. So it's just off Hastings Road.
Yeah.
Inshallah. And then I want to thank Radio Ramadan FM, DAB Radio 9. You guys can call in and text in to basically ask us any questions about a cycle. Mm-hmm. If you want to get involved, if you want to get involved in the trek, if you kind of want to find out more information about what we do, wherever it is, give us a call on 0116 4822 or mobile number 077 48 855055. You can also find Radio Ramadan FM and listen to the show. For example, if you want people that you know want to tune in on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram. But if you kind of want to listen to the show, you can go on Facebook Live and see us now. Bismillah. So guys, thank you very much, Radio Ramadan, for the 5th year of being on the platform. What do you think, or what does the cause mean to us, and why are we doing it? This main course right now, the cycle to Amsterdam.
I think Suly can answer that best, because whenever we do something with Syria, especially with shelter, it always goes back to his favourite camping trip.
It does. It does. So, me and Aadil, we did a challenge in 2021, walking from Nuneaton to Birmingham, probably the most excruciating challenge we've ever done in our lives.
You were just walking, man. Come on.
It was pain.
We were walking for 10 hours, bro.
We walked for 10
you missed
hours.
that bit out. You missed that bit out.
We walked for 10 hours, the same length as a marathon, without food or water, and no breaks at all.
While fasting.
Whilst fasting. And yeah, as I said, it was the hardest thing. It sounds so simple and I can do that, but it was really hard. And I joined Ramadan FM with Islamic Relief on the live when we were about 8 hours into our journey, 2 hours before finishing. And we spoke about why back then we were fundraising towards shelter for people in Syria, people that are displaced. Of course, this earthquake has happened recently. So as Soulymane said, people lost everything, even though they had nothing. It boils down to a motive that we went to in March 2021. And we went camping in Wales. It was projected that it was going to be good weather, and it was. It was really hot, it was warm, it was lovely. But on the evening of that camping trip, it was really, really, really cold. And we said to each other after that, like, imagine how these people feel in these tents long term. We just had it for one night. We got to shower, we got to go home to our lovely homes that evening. But these people out there in Syria, they don't get to go home. They don't have any luxury or any place to go to in such weather conditions. So it's been close to our heart. It's not the first time we've done it for something like that. And we've kind of lived less than 0.1% of what they're going through. So if we know how it is on that spectrum or that level, imagine what they're going through full time.
I can't put myself in those shoes because alhamdulillah, thanks to Allah's blessings and his rizq, barakah, I've never had to experience something like that, and I can't imagine what I would do if I was in that situation. So what inspired, so Mr. Soulymane, what inspired us to even choose a cycle, and how do we get to this stage?
Okay, I think I know the answer. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think it's because originally I cycled from Leicester to Paris in 2019, I think it was, and that was just off the cuff. Like my cousins were like, "Oh, we should go on a trip together." Someone said, "Okay, let's go Paris." We were like, "Okay." Then someone said, "Oh, why don't we try cycling it there?" Then we were like, "Okay." And the three of us kind of agreed to it. Everyone else kind of flicked out, dropped out, because they're like, "Oh, cycling, well, no point." So the three of us. And then I was like a smart ass, and I said, "Why don't we try?" Like so many people have cycled, hundreds and hundreds of people have done cycling from London to Paris. I said, "Let's do it in 24 hours." And the other two were like, "Okay." And now that I've said it and they've agreed, we're like, "Okay, we have to do it." So with very, very minimal preparation, no support vehicle, just three guys, small backpacks, Google Maps. We just went, we did it. We did it in, with like 15 minutes to spare. We got to the Eiffel Tower. And I think when I came back and like everyone really enjoyed it, watching it through the stories and the videos, and you guys in particular really enjoyed it and thought, I think you guys were like, we should do it. And I was like, yeah, I'm down for something of the sort. Then obviously years went on, COVID happened, and then we were thinking, what shall we do for this year, Ramadan, in terms of fundraising and challenging? And you brought it up again. You were like, yo, let's cycle to Paris. And Suly was like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, I really didn't want to do it. I wasn't up for it. And I particularly didn't want to cycle to Paris again because I've already done it. And then because you guys were pushing on it for so much and for so many years, I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, whatever, let's do it. And then we ended up agreeing on Amsterdam. I think it was either Amsterdam or Berlin. I think we spoke about, and in the end we said, yeah, let's just Amsterdam.
Because shout out to Mr. Arif Jajsi. He did it with Help the Home. He did it for Help the Homeless, but with Riders of Sham. And when we had a meeting with the Riders of Sham, they kind of were like, why don't you do that route? It's going to be a lot easier for you guys.
Especially for people that are not cyclists.
Yeah. But the first time I've ever gotten on a bike, just for the listeners, was the start of our training session.
That's crazy.
Before, I've only ever cycled to the gym and back. I've never cycled for long distance.
On the road as well, properly.
Never cycled on the road. Yeah, I used to cycle on the pavements, but I was...
Yeah. And I think I'm clear to say that Aadil really pushed for this more than both of us. Aadil said, let's do something really hard. Because last year we did a skydive, which was more of a mental and emotional push. But
it's the hardest thing I've done till date.
What? Skydive,
yeah.
But emotionally, mentally.
Emotionally.
But this one adds a physical... Because even skydiving, there's nothing you have to physically do.
I think we've done the physical. Because we've done... me and SA did the just over half a marathon whilst fasting. And then me and you did the walk.
Yeah, and we've done a marathon in Morocco before.
Yeah. See what I mean? So
and
we've done the physical.
And Tough Mudder.
We've done the physical. But I think the emotional, the mental, what we're kind of pushing for more now as well. Because it's a personal development as well. That goes hand in hand with a lot of this.
It's way beyond our comfort zone, this cycle. Way beyond. I'm not even a cyclist. I can happily... Cycling is a beautiful sport. It's a beautiful thing to do. But after this challenge, I can't imagine myself saying, it's 5 a.m, let me go out and cycle. No. There is beauty in it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not even saying it's not. But I'm not a cyclist. Do you know?
For me, it's like a summertime enjoyment thing.
Cycling is absolutely phenomenal.
I love it.
It's better than running or walking.
Oh, much better. It's
better than any other cardio. Maybe swimming's up there, but nothing beats cycling.
Nothing beats lifting weights, but...
No, but cardio-wise.
Yeah. Cardio-wise, do you know what?
You're right.
I would give that, and I think cycling is really fun, like especially when we're doing our training right now. I really enjoy it at moments.
It is enjoyable,
because you're doing it together. There's a lot of banter. It's fun. For me, I see it more of a summer thing. I kind of go and do during the summer to kind of have a bit of fun.
Good weather,
and do a bit of exercise. So it is fantastic. Just want to go on to the next part. So we kind of described why we've done it, why we're doing it, kind of how we've come to this stage. What do we need to do in order to achieve and make this cycle successful? Like what do we have to do? Give a bit of meat to the bones here as to what we're doing right now to prepare for the cycle.
Okay, so what are some of the main problems we're facing right now? I think everyone's struggling in terms of well, most of us are struggling to get that time in, to get the hours on that saddle, the hours cycling, because you got to remember, you're not just training for like, it's not just an hour. It's not like going to the gym. You just go in and for an hour, 40 minutes, and you're done. When you're trying to put miles in, you're cycling 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 miles, and it takes on average maybe an hour to cover 10 miles or something like that. So when you're going out for cycling, you're taking out 3, 4, 5 hours of your day, of your week, potentially, usually more. And so I think that's a big struggle for us and a lot of the people in the group. So we set goals to try and mitigate that. I think in the first month we said everyone should cover 100 miles. And this month in June, we covered like 2,500 kilometers, by the way, as a group last month, which is really, really good.
Really good, yeah.
This month we've said that we want everyone to cover a total of 150 miles or something like that. 200 kilometers basically.
And a back-to-back training day as well.
So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to put these like goals per month for every single person, to try and make sure that we're as ready physically as we possibly can be on ride day. I think that's our biggest challenge right now. Everything other than that,
I can vouch for that one.
Yeah,
so,
because we're all full-time busy working people with a lot of commitments in life, and the only spare time we get are weekends, and in weekends the only spare time we get are mornings. So it's one of those things you have to be up at 4 or 5. And you know what, football, I might have to like when you get closer to August, I might have to back out a week. I was saying before,
halfway through July,
I
I'm
was
going to
saying
back out.
2-3 weeks before, but now I'm looking at it. It's like I could use that Friday evening to cycle, and then a Saturday morning to cycle, and then Sunday could be my rest now. That football 90 minutes, like you guys saw it yesterday, it had a toll on me. But that's why I didn't do the back-to-back cycle, because I thought I did 90 minutes. I had less than 12 hours gap between I'd done the 30 miler yesterday. But it's that saddle time, as we said before.
Dude, the 30 miler, like, we're still at the stage where it's still taking a toll on our body. Like, physically, we're still tired. And to think about, on each of our days, we're doing an average of, say, between 3 days, an average of 70 miles each day.
Yeah.
Some days more. And I'm thinking, how on earth?
But that's why we've got so much time.
So I got a question for you guys that potentially listeners can relate to as well. You know, when you're cycling, at some point, everyone goes through this point where like, why am I doing this? I can just stop. Like, I don't have to do this. So in that moment, what do you guys kind of think? What goes through your head? What do you think about to get over that hurdle?
Two things for me. Firstly, like, we're fundraising for people that are in a position where I could never imagine what they're going through. I can take a bit of a burden, a bit of a pain to like do something where people are going to now want to donate to help with the cause. Like, a lot of people that donate nowadays, you kind of want, unless you're doing your sadaqah lillah, yuzga, you kind of want someone to achieve something for you to want to sponsor them. And this for me is kind of a way of like, I'm doing this so people can sponsor the ride, so they can donate. And my main focus is the cause. So back of my head, I just keep the cause in mind. Like,
For sure.
they're gonna have homes. I'm gonna be able to provide people homes through this cycle to keep at it. And then secondly, it's I'm losing sins, bro. Like, this is literally, all of this is so like sadaqah jariyah. Like, I'm getting rewarded for the cycle, for the
Your intentions are
fundraising.
pure, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's what keeps me going.
Okay, I agree to that. I agree with that, actually, especially the part where the pain you're enduring while cycling is like you'd rather have that than have what they have. Do you know what I mean? It's like that thing of that or that. So I need to be grateful for the pain I'm getting right now. I think another personal development one is like pushing yourself to your limits, comfort zone. This is so out of my comfort. I've never cycled this much before. I hit a 35 miler last week on my own to Hinckley and back. Never done that before. That many miles on a bike, and it's just one of those ones, like, you're just pushing yourself to your limit, and you know you've got, do you know what it is? When someone tells you you've got time, you really make most of it, because when we were told we can start training, it was like mid-May, and end of August is our challenge. We know we've got 2.5 solid months of really giving it. If we don't give it, we're going to struggle in that end of August.
100%.
And plus, because it's a group thing. It's not like, oh, you can go on your own and you'll go when you want to go. It's a group thing. I don't want to be that, but I hate ever thinking of myself as being a burden or a liability to a group or something. So I need to make sure I'm top notch. Like, I know I can cycle. I know I'm not going to stop. I know how to sort out a puncture in my tire and stuff like that. So yeah, as I said, it's out the comfort zone. It's the whole purpose of pushing yourself out there. It's fit and healthy. It's good. As I said, it's been beautiful doing it in the mornings. I was telling Suly yesterday, I said, now Aadil will know why we do it early morning, because there's no cars. On the way there, it was so chilly.
So
but on the
empty.
way back, it was a different ball game. So trying to cycle in between traffic makes your life 10 times harder.
Yeah.
Because you've got more things to think about. Whereas you just cycle in the morning, just looking over your shoulder every couple of minutes and getting on with what you do.
What about you? You asked a question.
I completely agree with you guys that those would be like my foremost reasons. But I think I'm quite harsh on myself. I'm quite upfront and blunt with myself as well. And every time I think, okay, I'm struggling now, I'm getting tired now, I just tell myself, why being a little baby, man? Get on with it, man. Like at the end of the day, yeah. At the end of the day, look. At the end of the day, yeah.
I second it.
For me, I'm like, okay, I'm going on this cycling trip. Someone's gonna ask me about it, and like I don't want the truth or the story to be I was struggling because I didn't train, or I don't want my story to be like I gave up, I found it too hard. I want it to be more of like, yeah, it was hard, but I plowed through it. I got through it. I don't ever want to tell someone I found something hard and I gave up and I stopped.
No, never.
I that thought that plays in my mind, especially like in everything in my life, especially like bigger things that I get involved with. I don't ever want my younger siblings, my nephews, my nieces, my future children or future grandchildren come to me and say, look, someone said that you did this cycling thing. Someone said that you started this CIC. Someone said that you did this project, but you stopped halfway. Can you tell me why? And I don't want it to be like, I found it too hard. I don't ever want that to be a reason or part of any of my stories.
No.
And that, I don't know why it's a thought is in my head, but it's constantly in my head. Like I don't ever want to tell someone that I found something too hard and that's why I stopped. And it gets me through a lot of like mental blocks.
But you're a lot more like sort of tougher on yourself. For me, and I think it's the first time I'm ever going to tell you guys this, but every challenge we do every year, we kind of do it as a sort of a personal development for ourselves. A challenge, right? You mentioned this yourself. It's personal development. It's your mental toughness. I give up every time at the start of the challenge. Like in my head, I'm like, after every training session, I give up. In my head, I'm like, this is so hard. So tough, but each year we keep pushing through because like we've kind of got each other on this sort of thing where we have to do one thing every year that just pushes our limits. And it's one of the things I love about Waves Positivity, and it's kind of why we've opened this for more people to join us, because we love this and we want more people to enjoy this. But yesterday's cycle, there was 3 moments I could have given up because one of my legs. So the first one was after, remember, what was it, near the hospital in Glenfield, my left leg seized up. And I was like, I can just call my missus right now and she'll come pick me up. And then I drank some water, shook my leg off a bit, started walking. I was like, okay, no, we can go again. 3 times my left leg seized up on me. It was the 5th time actually. My right leg also seized up on me. And I was like, okay, I can't
physically can't do it, yeah.
I physically, my body's telling me, you stop right now or like you're going to be in trouble. Yeah. But it's like, you guys, I'm doing this together, kind of built this mental resilience, this physical resilience in each other.
If you did this on your own, the first time it gave up, you just said, that's it, I'm done.
I don't think I could do this challenge alone. Not until I've had this first experience. The next time we do it, I think I could do one alone because I would have learned all the skills. But right now, this first one, I could definitely not do it alone. That's the challenge.
Yeah. What going off that point and what I was saying earlier was that our lives are relatively easy compared to people of the past and people of other parts of the world. Regardless of the difficulties we're going through, our lives are relatively easy compared to those people, right? So I feel it necessary to put myself through difficulty, like rock bottom, grueling difficulty in life. That's the reason why in my head I'm like, okay, I want to run a marathon fasted. I want to cycle across the world. I want to do X, Y, and Z because I know my life is relatively easy. I can never relate to these people. If I just lived quote unquote a normal life, do you get what I'm saying? How can I stand here and talk to people about difficulty, getting through life and stuff if I've not been through anything? You know, how can I progress as a human being? It makes no sense. You see, the reason why people of the past were so strong, were so full of courage, were able to conquer the world and conquer lands is because they went through difficulty. And we can never conquer anything in this life unless we go through that first stage of that difficulty. We need to experience it. We need to understand what a tough life means. And like I said, because our lives are relatively easy, we can't just one day say, I want to really do personal development, I'm going to go homeless tomorrow. It's illogical, it doesn't make sense. But what we can do is take these calculated risks, you know, where it's like, okay, I'm going to go through this phase. I'm going to start this project. I'm going to open this business. I know it's going to be incredibly tough, but I'm going to put myself through it because I know when I finish, I am going to become a better person, a better human being. And so that is like the ideology that I have. So when I'm recruiting people for these challenges and I'm trying to figure out, okay, what have you been through life, and you know, what can you potentially get out of this? Like you were mentioning, there's people that are on this challenge that have never done anything like this, even you guys. But you see in a person that they want to grow, they want to achieve something in life, they want to have a story to tell the people around them. And this is one way you can have that story, because not everyone's interested in different things. Everyone takes risks in different things. Some people open up businesses, some people move across the world, some people do physical challenges like these. But I believe that it's necessary for every single adult, especially the men, to take on some kind of risk, a big risk, some kind of big challenge that pushes them to the point where even they doubt their success.
Yeah.
So people always say that, forget about the people that doubt you. If you have doubters, if you have haters, that means you're doing something right. But what about you? I want you to push yourself to that point where you feel like, I can't make it, I am going to be a failure, I am going to lose, and then you overcome that. That is the greatest point of success. That is the greatest point of growth in your life that you'll ever experience.
Guys, listen, if you need a coffee, you don't need it now, because SA just motivated you, man. He just motivated you. I feel motivated.
So anyone listening to this, make sure you check us out. And if you want to take part in the cycle, we've got
one
we can
spot
put one
left.
spot for you. So
we could squeeze in another cyclist.
So
Why not?
if you feel
Yeah,
like you've
man.
got it in you, look, there's 12 other brothers doing this. 2 of them are absolutely Olympic status people. Yeah? I'm not even doubting.
I'd say 3 of them. Then 3 of them have done long
Yeah,
challenges.
true.
Yeah.
One guy has covered 3/5 of our cycling distance so far.
Insane.
Or 2/5, something like that.
Insane, just
It's
crazy.
crazy.
Like above and beyond limits. So just know there's so many of us like myself who hasn't done a cycle challenge, long distance cycle challenge like this. Number 1 and number 2 back to back for 3 days in a row. So we're on the same boat. And we're on the same journey. So if you want to take part, you feel like you'd be a good part of it, it'd be a good challenge for yourself, hit us up. Check out our website, wavesofpositivity.com, and you can check out the cycling challenge on our upcoming events page, and then sign up if you're happy with it all and if it suits the dates for you. Inshallah.
All right, so very quickly, this one does not need a long answer, but Mr. Soulymane, do you think the cycle is going to be the toughest challenge for us so far? Yes or no?
As a group, yeah.
Yeah? What yourself?
Myself and as a group, yeah. I won't know completely until it's done. To compare it to the walk, because the walk, as I said, to this day has been the hardest.
I think because we're organising it, that adds a whole different challenge to it. Because we're going through the physical challenge, but on the day we are managing people, we are helping people, motivating people. We're not just kind of joining a thing and cycling. We're kind of looking after the logistics, making sure everything's okay. So there's that side on top of it as well, you know.
Yeah. There's a lot of management side to it as well. Okay, so Mr. Suly, you're going to love this question. How do you balance commitment and responsibilities whilst preparing for the cycle?
So when things like this come in your life, yeah, and you've signed up for it and you've made the niyyah, I'm going to do it, that becomes your priority. I'll be straight with you guys. Like, as I said, Saturday mornings or Sunday mornings when we're doing it, that is what we're going to do, right? So like yesterday, for example, 6 a.m. start, we're going to cycle regardless. But that becomes like a whole toll in your life, because the rest of the day we're all battered, we're all finished and tired. So the commitments, how to balance it, is that becomes your priority, and everything else becomes the normal way you live your life, work, business, waves of positivity, community work, whatever you're doing, is that's there regardless. But this cycle has to be done. If you don't do it, then you can't be committed to it. It's something, as I said, I mentioned this earlier, the time we had for training, we're so lucky to have that much time to train for it. And I know if I miss 1 week, I need to make up for it, because I do not want to be that guy from at the end of August when we start from Leicester to Cambridge. I don't want to be that guy that starts, collapsing halfway through, or my legs are getting cramped. And I want to make sure I'm getting the right rehab, the right training, and I want to be ready, more than ready for that. I actually want the first day to be easy.
Yeah.
The second 2 days, I don't mind if it's hard, because it's understandable. We've done 70 miles, you've woken up, etc. But especially the rehab, I was going to say, we need someone that can bring a couple massage guns with them. And,
I'll bring mine.
yeah,
I'll put it in the van.
Literally, we need
I've
to
got
use
one.
that. We need our rehab for... One thing we need to look after for everyone is not just the training, but when we finish training that day, we need to make sure people are taking their balms, their massages. Like, they need to make sure their legs, foam rollers. They need to make sure they're actually looking after their legs.
Do you know what I was thinking about yesterday? I was thinking, we'll have the massage guns in the van. But I was thinking, okay, I need to bring something, because obviously we're going to stop for lunch and stuff, and we don't know where, like especially when we're in like abroad, we won't know, overseas, we won't know where we're going to stop particularly. So I was thinking, I need to bring something that I can lay on the floor and lay down comfortably, like at our stop. So I was thinking, okay, I need to bring some kind of cushioned mat or something. So when we stop, because for me, like, food is fine, I can get away with just having snacks and stuff. But in those periods when we're sitting down and resting, I need to be comfortable and be able to stretch out and have no tension on my body. So that's what I'm going to be. I'm trying to find
a piece of grass and lie down, man.
Yeah, but sometimes it might not be grass or might not be clean or dry grass.
Very true. Well, we've got 2 of those mats that we had in the walking event. We could maybe share.
I don't want to be there, start pumping up a mattress.
Maybe put one of the cyclists on top of the van. They can lie down on top of the van. But yeah, no, for sure. As I said, as you said before as well, Suly, like there's the whole part of taking part in it and the whole part of managing other people as well, and that's really important. And it also tests our leadership and our experience in managing so many things before. But yeah, as I said, commitment, you have to be committed. There's no half committed. I didn't wait. Like the other day, last week, when I did the Hinckley ride, I was supposed to be up at 6 that day, but I wasn't up. So I made sure I still done it that day. It had a toll on the rest of the day I had, but I started at 8 o'clock, I think, and I got back at 12 or 1 o'clock. So commitment's commitment regardless.
100%. Yourself? How'd you manage it all? How have you managed to fit it in? 'Cause you're a very busy man.
I have cut down on like my regular gym sessions, so probably go 3 times a week weightlifting or calisthenics compared to what I used to do like 5 times a week. I've lost a lot of weight. I've literally become a stick man because of that and all the cycling. And second thing I do is I just go as early as I can, like 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, get it out of the way. So I'm not disrupting other responsibilities and priorities in my life. Although, yeah, you do get tired, you know, after you come back, you are knackered. You don't really want to do too much intensive work. So it's like, if I know I'm going cycling on Saturday morning, I'm going to be back at like 11 o'clock or whatever, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. If I know on that day I've got intensive things to do, I'll either do it Friday night or push it to Sunday. So that's how I have been kind of managing my training around.
I forgot to mention that bit. I've actually cut out MMA on Thursdays, so I don't do MMA anymore.
Yeah.
Gym, same thing. I don't do deadlifts as well now because when you deadlift, your lower back's got that little ache, and it's not comfortable to then go for a bike ride a day or two after that with that lower back pain because it just doesn't work hand in hand. So there's sacrifices we've had to make as well. And as I said to you, Friday's football, I'm actually contemplating once I hit that 50, 60 miler, it might have to come out.
Oh yeah, we definitely will have to. It definitely will have to.
Yeah. Way earlier than expected. Probably end of June.
I'm thinking mid-July.
Yeah,
July.
We'll have to see how we go along, inshallah.
All right. So the next question I've got for you guys is, say someone's listening right now and they're like, I really want to do this, but I can't commit to the Leicester to Amsterdam cycle this year. But how would they get involved with something like this in the future? And how do they get started if they would just want to do it by themselves? What advice would you have for them?
What do you want your legacy to be? What story do you want to have? What do you want people to talk about when you're not there, when you're no longer here? What is going to be the go-to fact, the go-to story when your name pops up? This could be it. Something similar could be it, whether it's with us or someone else. What is going to be that like wow factor? What is that going to be about? Every single person needs to have something about them. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be a cycling thing. It doesn't have to be a charity-related thing. But every single person needs to have that. When the name comes up in conversation, this guy he's known for that. That's his thing. You know what I'm saying? So legacy is something that should be in the back of the mind of every single human being, in particular for Muslims, right? Because we know that once you're gone, the only thing that's going to benefit you is your legacy, especially in terms of sadaqah jariyah. You know, the dua that people make for you, the charity that is given in your name, the knowledge that you have shared, the people that you have inspired through the things you have done. That is what's going to matter. Let's say, for example, just relating it back to our example, let's say one of our people has signed up, they're doing a cycling challenge, and no one in their circle, no one in their family does anything like this, and they see this person going through that struggle, training every single weekend, seeing their fundraising amount increase by the hundreds every single week, and then seeing the project, the pictures and the videos at the end of it, the people living in those homes, and you inspire one person, or you inspire a family, or inspire a community to be like, oh, you know what? We want to build a house for people that are homeless. We want to look after our physical bodies and go cycling. We want to train. We want to build a community. Wallahi, that's your reward. That's your legacy. And if you're not thinking about legacy, I'm sorry, but you're missing the beat here. And you are missing out a gold mine or a golden opportunity to start filling that bank account that's going to matter when you are gone, when you are finished. And so always think about legacy.
I got a follow-up question for you then. What reason should someone do, or why should someone do the challenges that we've set out, like with Waves of Positivity specifically?
So, first of all, it's comfort zone. We always do things that will guarantee take you out your comfort zone. And we can guarantee that we make you do something that's been on your mind for years. Oh, I'd love to do Tough Mudder. How many people have done Tough Mudder with us where they've seen it, they've heard about it, and just never done it until we put it to, look, we've got this event coming up this date. You down? Yes, I'm down. Done. So it brings out your comfort zone. We put you in touch with the group that takes part, like-minded individuals, positive, inspiring, networking, and you'll always benefit from something just by taking part in something like this. Going out your comfort zone, pushing beyond your limits, networking with people. How many people have we made friends just through our events and Waves of Positivity, or made them set up something or do something together? That's the whole point. We bring cohesion between people through fun things like this, and we instill positive thinking and positive lifestyle choices by doing things like this. Because if you're not a positive person, I've not seen any grumpy person do Tough Mudder. I've not seen someone who's got an angry face on them do a skydive. It's for people that want to be enthusiastic and fun and positive in life, and you've got to be outgoing. And if the opportunities we give you are not taken, which other opportunities are you going to take, especially at a young age right now? So, yeah, that's what I have to say.
Yeah, just to add to that, I feel like Waves of Positivity is creating a set of group and unity that I was crying for when I was younger. Something I always wanted to be a part of. Like, there's always been football clubs, etc. That's just football.
Would you say that we have created a wave?
We're making waves.
No, Barry.
Allahu Akbar. But yeah, like, I would have loved to have been 16, 17, 18 and found something like Waves of Positivity. And I feel like if you guys are listening to us on Radio Ramadan, DAB9, you can go and follow us on social media. You can see what we're about, and you can kind of get join with us. Like, just experience one event with us, and you'll kind of see why, alhamdulillah, we've created this little family, this Making Waves community, the Waves Positivity community already. And we've had a skydive last year, which was about an hour and a half out of Leicester. And it was phenomenal. It was a great experience. We had, I say, 8 people join us. We had to hire a minibus. We went out.
In total of us, we actually had about 12, 13 of us in total.
13 of us.
13
people.
And it was men and women. That's the thing. Again, we put opportunities out there for the sisters, for the females. It's not like like the cycle we're doing is a male-centric thing simply because of the nature of it. And obviously just the decency of it as a whole. But football tournaments, we've included women. The skydive, we've included women. Like we're not just just for males. It's actually a lot of it are for females as well, to make female leaders, to make females, succeed and go beyond their boundaries, and stuff like that. So, the Making Waves isn't just for men and isn't just for women. It's for everyone.
It is for everyone.
It's for everyone.
All right, and then coming up, we've got 6 minutes, so I want to really highlight over our trek that's on the 17th of June, so in 2 weekends' time, Kinder Scout, which Soulymane, you can tell us a bit more about that and what people can expect. And obviously, if they want to sign up and join from Leicester, Bismillah. And then obviously got our car wash, and potentially, it is in the works, but we might have an Eid fun day, of course. That's something that we can confirm closer to the time. So, Bismillah. Please tell us about the trek in Kinder Scout Peak District, please, Soulymane.
Okay, so we have a trek coming up. Kinder Scout on the 17th of June. We're going to be trekking up the highest peak in the Peak District. It's due to be amazing weather, good weather, hopefully amazing views. So far, we've already got just under 30 people signed up, so a great group of people. And we are fundraising for an amazing cause to provide clean drinking water to the people of Gaza. It's £30 to join, and every single individual has a fundraising target of £200. We have a coach booked from Birmingham, if anyone's come from that side. And from Leicester, once you signed up, we put you in a WhatsApp group and we can look to see if there's any options to carpool or share rides together. And yeah, it's going to be an amazing day out. Inshallah, I genuinely cannot wait. Our first charity hike was at Kinder Scout. It was around the same time, but the weather was abysmal that day. But this time it's going to be very different, inshallah. And yeah, I can't wait to see everyone there.
Inshallah. Who can come? Who can take part? And sort of what's the criteria?
So you can sign up on wavesofpositivity.com. The link is there to register. And it's open to anyone. The age restriction is 15 plus. Anyone else can come. We do advise that you need to be fairly fit, fairly capable. You're going to be walking for approximately 5 hours, and there are a couple of steep portions, but nothing that the average person cannot do. And what else was it?
Mainly the age limit, but Bismillah.
15 plus, yeah, inshallah.
Inshallah. Let's see if we can get maybe even 2 sign-ups from this radio show. If you do sign up, just send us a little message saying, I heard you guys on Radio Ramadan, and if you made me want to take part, especially Souleymane's little motivational piece when he was inspiring us to challenge ourselves and work hard to always have a little bit of difficulty in life. Suly, can you tell us about the car wash that we will have for Eid al-Adha?
Yeah, so inshallah, 25th of this month, Sunday, from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. Inshallah, we're going to have a fun car wash day, but with a twist to it, we're going to have a barbecue as well. So whilst you come to have your car washed exterior only, you can grab yourself a nice bite, a drink, and there'll be a few stalls there as well with treats, drinks, brownies, all of that. It's just like a fun day, but 2 in 1. So if you want to take your car for a wash, we have Mendy as well. Mendy, face painting, hair braiding.
If you want to get Eid henna sorted,
yeah. For any of the wives out there and they want to tell their husband to go out and take the kids out quickly for a little motive, this is the one to go to, inshallah, and spend a couple hours at. Get the car washed, get the barbecue, get some good grub in, and just spend a good day before Eid, inshallah. So,
and if anyone wants to volunteer for that,
yeah, just reach out to us, inshallah. Hit us up on Instagram, website, email us, whatever have you say. Just get in touch if you want to help out that day, or if you have any ideas to contribute towards what we're doing, inshallah. Or if you want to have your own stall as well, reach out to us and we can sort you out.
I can't believe I can get my car washed, have my kids occupied with some face painting. My wife can get some henna.
You got kids?
He's talking rhetorically. He's trying to make this into a little advertisement now.
Yeah, get my car washed.
He's already thinking how to keep
done.
the kids occupied.
Kids are getting face painting. I get some munch as well, and I can
munch.
I can get my Eid gifts for family members all in one place. Yeah. And where is this going to be happening?
What's called road?
Buckland
Road.
He was doing the whole promo piece, and you missed the beat.
This was the promo part, guys. Sorry, off Hastings Road, inshallah.
You can make up for it by telling us one liner of what you want someone to take away from this radio show today.
Inshallah, I want people to take away from this radio show that they can push beyond their limits. It's been proven before. You can prove yourself again. If you've never done something outside your comfort zone, this is the kind of the inspiration that you can take from it. It's summer as well in the UK. So if you're here in Leicester, you're here in the UK, it's summertime now. This is probably the best time to get out of your comfort zone. This is when there's so many activities. Even if it's not through Waves of Positivity and you want to do it for another organisation, by any means necessary, do it. Bismillah. And if you feel like you don't have enough of a push, do it for charity. Which, talking about charity, the car wash day is for charity. It's not just a standard day. All the profits, inshallah, they go towards the Syria earthquake victims. So it's not like we're just doing it for jokes. It's got a purpose behind it, inshallah. So make sure you guys come through and take part.
You got 30 seconds.
If you want to sponsor our events, get in touch.
We are always looking for sponsorships, inshallah. Guys, you have been listening to Waves Positivity on Radio Ramadan. On DAB 9. Please do go follow us on Waves Positivity Official on Instagram and TikTok. Someone just said, Maiji Salams, how are you all? Wa alaikum salam. Jazakallah for reaching out to us.
All good, bro. Hope you're well as well.
Alhamdulillah. So yeah, go follow us on Waves Positivity Official on Instagram and TikTok, WAP Official 1 on Twitter, and then you can find us on LinkedIn, Waves Positivity Official. Reach out to us on there if you want to potentially sponsor our events in the future. And also on Spotify, you can listen to all of our podcasts, Making Waves podcast on Spotify, also on Apple Podcasts. And you can also find Radio Ramadan FM on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. And Jazakallah khair, we have been Waves Positivity. Please do, inshallah, stay in touch with us. Assalamu alaikum. Keep making waves.